And stop talking like that.
Hello
Talk
and
normal.
welcome to Monday Club. Sam is talking shit as always.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Hello and welcome. It is Monday Club, and we're back again. We've got the gang in the house. This is the new crew, really, isn't it? For as long as you guys stay around, I suppose. I'm like the tired old one, isn't I? Like,
but you're like the what's her name out? Sugar Babes. They changed them all.
Yeah, they did.
Stayed.
Yeah.
That's you. That is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Is it Heidi? Is it the blonde one?
No, it was the other one. It's like Keisha or something. I don't know. Anyway,
it was a long time
why
ago.
are we talking about Sugar Babes on Monday?
Sugar Babes were wicked back in the day.
Relax. Don't say wicked. You're too old to say wicked. And first of all, let's not talk about Sugar Babes.
Okay. Right? Everyone in the comment section, if you like Sugar Babes, just let me know, yeah.
You can have a little Sugar Babes fan club. Right, Mark, what have you been up to this week? Don't say EICRs, not interested.
No, not been doing any ICRs, actually. I've had a pretty good week last week. So in terms of work, we've got a load of EV charge points to install. So I've been pushing that. So we've got 30 to go at. So I managed to pick up a bit of a deal with one of the big national contractors. So that's nice.
Sweet.
What chargers will you be using?
Varied, mate. So they don't install a specific brand. It's just what the customers choose.
Okay.
So they're like a big internet reseller, if you like. And then they have a network of installers. So I've been speaking to them for quite a while. And they've given us a few to get on and install. So that's good.
That's cool.
Well, that's pretty.
But yeah, away from that, I'm actually trying to be off work this week because it's my wife's 40th birthday on Thursday.
Happy birthday, Mark's wife on Thursday.
That's right. We were supposed to be going over to California to visit her dad for mine and her birthdays, but obviously because of where we are at the minute, we can't do that. So we've decided to do the garden up. You might have seen some of my videos I put out across social media. Been spending far too much money building forts and monkey bars and all the rest of it. So busy with that.
Is that why you look so fresh today, Mark? Like you look like you've had a wash, which is rare.
You know what?
I know.
I've scrubbed myself to death because there was like a laurels bush in the back garden and it was full of some of the deadliest insects I have ever known. And they literally shredded me. I've been bitten all over. So I've scrubbed my skin to the point it's bleeding to try and get rid of the pain.
Well,
so I'm a bit cleaner than normal. Yeah.
Well, you look fresh. Must be a new camera or something. Kimmy, I don't even know if I want to ask this, but tell me about your week, mate.
My week. Oh, my week was good. What? Why are you huffing and puffing?
I've got something in my eye, man. I don't want to rub it.
My week was good. I worked with a gas engineer for one of the days. That was quite interesting. I hired a gas engineer for a day.
For what?
And he came along with me to do all the gas certificates that I had overdue for my landlords. So basically, paid him for the day, took him around with me, drove him to all the properties that he had to test, and I was just sort of watching, learning, asking him loads of questions. So that was good. I did that with my week. And then yesterday was the crazy night of call-outs. I was supposed to cover Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I didn't get any call-outs on Friday or Saturday. I did Saturday night. I got call-out. And yesterday was really dramatic. So, that whole...
Well, elaborate. Like, this is what Monday Club's about. You've got to tell us about this.
So what happened is I decided to leave the house at about 5 o'clock, dropped off my son, and then started the call-outs. Went to South London. South London is quite intense and crazy.
Where?
SW15, SW6, SE15, literally all around Brixton, Peckham, and all of those areas. And there is actually, let me just double check what the name of that place is. I think it's called like something Towers, but anyways, it's a huge estate. And
Tower Hamlets? No, that's not South
London. No, that's East London.
Yeah,
that is East London, mate. So it's a huge estate. And the car park itself was 2 floors, and then the block itself was on top of the car park. So it was very interesting. So anyways, it had about 4 or 5 different entrances, and within that estate they had a Tesco. I think the estate was maybe built in like the 1950s, 1960s. So anyways, I parked outside now, and there was 5 people that sort of approached me, and they were all intoxicated, and they just started hassling me, asking me for money. And one of the women, she just literally threw herself on me, and she was like holding me tight. And where she's a rough sleeper as well, she was just a mess in terms of like her hygiene and stuff. And yeah, she just wouldn't let me go, and she was just like screaming in my ear saying, "Can you give me your money?" And do you know what she kept saying to me? She's like, "Can you check in your handbag? Can you just check? Can you just double check?" And I kept telling her, "Listen, it's a handbag, but it's actually just got tools in it. It's got no actual money or anything in it." And she just couldn't understand how my handbag had no purse or money in it. So anyways, yeah, that was that. Got her off my case. Went and done the job. It was just crazy finding it as well. Went into the lift. Oh, everything just stank like piss. Oh, and then I went into the lift, right? I thought, what's the worst that can happen in the lift? Surely the lift will be better than the stairs. As soon as I was about to get in the lift, a guy ran out the staircase. So he was down the stairs, and he ran into the lift and was like, "Where are you going? Have you just finished work? Are you going to work?" And I was like, oh my gosh. And as we're going down, I thought, why is he going down when he just came from there? And I thought, oh my God, is this how I die? And I was just like panicking. And then as soon as I came out the lift, I think he just like ran off. And then when I came back out, the woman found me again. And she's like, excuse me, darling. She found me again, and she was like holding on to me. She wouldn't let me go. And then I just ran into the car, sat down, and she laid on top of my bonnet, and she wouldn't let me leave until I gave her money. And she just kept saying, "Check here, check there, check there." And then I was like, "Please, I've got no money to give you," literally. So I found like £1. I gave it to her. She said, "Thanks," walked off. And I was like, well, time to go home. Got home about 2:30. And yeah, that was an interesting.
What? There's so much to unpack here. First of all, right, I'm just going to say it how it is, and I don't care what the blowback is from this. You've got to be a bit more careful about the way you approach these scenarios, being that you are an attractive female in these very rough estates and very rough parts of London. You have to be a bit more careful the way you approach these. Do you not believe that?
In what sense could I have been more careful? I literally got to the job. I was on my phone, making it look like, I was speaking to somebody. Obviously, I'm just making an Instagram story, but making it look like, someone's on the phone to me and whatever. How else could I have been more careful? I parked right outside on the double yellow light,
I just
on the pavement.
I don't know.
Scary, innit? Think about it.
But I just think, like, I don't even know if I would go to that call out. I'd be like, do you know what? What a call out in like the deepest depths of South London, like the proper rough part of South London, on probably a notorious council estate around there. I'm gonna think twice about going on that call out, and I'm from Croydon, so yeah, I'm gonna think twice about that. I'm just saying,
I'd be no good. They'd snatch me straight up. Gone. Get out. Poof, gone. Never see me again.
All right, relax.
Just saying.
So what sort of requirements do you think somebody would need to be able to attend a call out like that? Or do you think the people that live there are doomed forever to never have an electrician go there at that time of the morning when there's no electricity and they've got children in the property?
Here's a better way of what precautions do you take when you go to a job like that? Do you have like a thing that you have in place?
So I've got my phone, and I send my live location to a friend so they can see like my active little tracker thing.
Yeah.
So at any time, and obviously I keep it up to date, messaging my friends, letting them know where I am and stuff. And the worst kind of case scenario, I did think I do have a whole handbag full of tools, and I know exactly which one I'd go for if there was any problems. And in the past, I've had unofficial sort of training because my brother's dad, he was like a martial arts teacher, so he taught me like a few little basics, and I thought, yeah. But when things do open, I do want to take some more proper official sort of self-defense lessons, just in case.
Can I give you a
Apart
bit of
from that-
advice?
Mm-hmm.
If you get in a scenario where you feel like you might need to reach for a weapon, run away.
I'm in a
Very
lift.
fast.
I'm in a lift.
Yeah.
Run away.
I'm in a lift.
Yeah.
I'm in a small lift. During Corona, the guy is standing literally that close to me, asking me, "Have I just finished work? Where am I going? What am I doing?" And it's 2:00 in the morning, and the lift is dodgy. As it's going down, it's getting stuck in between, like. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I would not have got into that lift if I knew there was somebody around. I looked around, I didn't hear anybody. As soon as I pressed the lift button and I stepped in, the guy ran out from under. Do you know what I mean? I would have never gone into the lift if I knew there was somebody that would have got in there with me. It was just.
Go on.
Are you on these jobs as a self-employed person, Kimmy, or are you working for a company? How are you contracted onto them?
This is me doing it through choice.
I'm just thinking, because I know when we send people out to jobs like that, we always send them as a pair, so it wouldn't be lone workers, and that wouldn't matter if you were a male or a female. So if we were going into more than anything else, it's carrying all the gear as well. I mean, you've got your handbag, but when you're going up like 10 flights of stairs and in the lift, having an extra person with you, it's more than just safety and welfare. Certainly, as an employer doing a risk assessment.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't ever send somebody to a job like that.
Yeah, one of the companies I used to work for, they used to always send 2 people when it was the most known estates, and they also used to provide us with stab-proof vests. So that was another.
Jeez.
I'm not going. Listen, unless they're paying like danger money, I'm not going.
And the thing is, the price for that call out is exactly the same as it would be on like a Friday, 5:00.
What?
If a stab-proof vest is part of the PPE, then no way.
No, they provided it. I think they cost like £400, but they obviously give it to you for free.
What on earth?
Where are you working?
I had a similar situation. To a
You've
point.
never had this situation.
No. There was a cat that was really aggressive once on this lady's fence and wouldn't let me in the house.
Did you just say a cat?
Yeah, cat. Tried to scratch me. Oh.
Listen, there is. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, listen, got a call out for you tonight, Kimmy. But you got to swing by the office, pick up the stab-proof vest. I'd be like, nah, not doing it. Sorry.
No.
That's just a straight no, isn't it?
Oh well.
Well, that was a good subject.
For me, it's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, but no, well, I guess but.
What are we doing?
Now.
What are we doing?
Somebody's gonna do it, and the thing is, it's either gonna be somebody who is scared, or it's just gonna be me who's crazy enough to do it. And I feel like I've never been unfortunate enough where something actually physically ever happened to me, or I've never been robbed. I've never had any of these things happen to me. So whether it's gonna be me or some huge bloke, I don't know. Personally, it's just maybe my crazy mind and the way it works.
Let me put it to you like this. Do you know what Russian roulette is? Right?
Yeah.
So you have, like them revolver guns, yeah? So you put one bullet in and then the rest of the chambers are empty. And you spin it and then you click it. And if it don't go off, you win, right? But you keep putting yourself in danger every time you click it. So you spin it and click, spin it and click. And every time you do that, you put yourself closer to that moment where you're going to hit that button. So the more time you go to these things, the more chances
your odds are not in your favor anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what? See, for me, I feel like I've got a cheat code. I only do it part-time. So that literally, I feel like all the days where something terrible might happen, I don't work those days. So
the only thing you should do is get a bloody GoPro stuck to your head and live stream it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, do you know what's good as well? You should get a body cam. Because
that's what I mean, yeah.
Because although
I thought about that, and honestly, that would make some great TV show.
No, but it's like you should get, like the ones that them
police officers,
bailiffs have as well.
That's it.
Just there, and it's like if you put hands on this person,
you get recorded. You're
recorded, and you're banged to rights. I think that's a good shout because it's more of a deterrent than it is anything else.
And SWAT gear.
Yeah. Just like, SWAT gear, a samurai sword, some mace, a taser. I bought a taser. Listen, I bought a taser at a car boot sale once.
I bought one on holiday, and got it took off me at the airport. Didn't realise you couldn't take it into the country.
But it's a torch. Well, I haven't got it anymore, but it was a torch, 15 quid. And then you put a little switch at the bottom and you can taser people. And I waited ages and ages for my sister to come over, and then I couldn't find it. Because I can't zap my wife, I can't zap my kid, can't zap my dog. My brother would not be happy if I did. That
We used to do
only
it to
leaves
each
my mum
other on
and dad.
holiday. It was in Turkey. We was tasering each other in the bars and whatnot. It was great. I could take it though because I've had full whack. The other guy's like, ooh, take it. It's just bit batteries. It's fine.
But that being said, by the time she come over from Dubai, I was so excited I couldn't find it. I think my
Have you ever
wife has
been?
hidden it.
When we went to Australia, we were messing around with a bull prod. You ever seen them? Sat me on my arse. That's where we absolutely smashed in the ranch in the middle of nowhere, a place called Yangon. And obviously, the story of the tasers had come up before, and the guy who owned the ranch come out because he was drinking. Oh, what was it called now? It's like weird wine. Comes in like bags. Anyway, and we're absolutely off it. And he was like, "Oh, I've got a bull prod." I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." Straight to the back. I just fell over like gone. I was like, "Yeah, don't do that again." Anyway, sorry. Nick's boring story. Yeah, it was really interesting. Let's carry on.
I was going to hit you with that. Suppose you had to mean
I
it. Mark, have you got a hot topic or a technical?
Nick, how's your week been? Yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, we're going to ask Nick what he's been doing.
Do we have to? I always try and swerve it because it's like, I've been doing EICRs and and I've been painting the wall in my garage this week.
Unit.
Is that the same as an ingot?
Right. Yeah, carry on, Mark.
I actually watched an interesting video of someone blowing up a nail. I don't know who did that, but that was a cracking video on YouTube.
Blowing up
this week's a nail. Thanks, Mark. It's not this week's technical topic, but can you see all right, Nick? Because bit of a bright flash.
Mate, that hurt. I've got some stick off that. Should have wore welder's
What
mask.
did you blow up?
I put a nail as a main fuse.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Blowing stuff up.
Yeah. But stupidly, because the only reason, it blew up while my face was the closest to it, because it started to set, it got that hot, it set the probe of my welder, the plastic on it, started setting on fire. So I went really close and went, whew. As I did that, it just went right in my face.
I need to see this.
Mate, it really hurt. But
why did it hurt? Did it hurt or did it just make you a bit scared? Like, oh.
No. My eyes. It flashed, like a welder's flash.
Did it hurt, or were you being? Are you being dramatic?
Watch the video, and then you'll see how bright it was. I tried to get a screenshot on when I was editing it as it was blowing up as a thumbnail. No, it's just white. What was it?
Suppose you had to be there.
Absolutely.
Mark, can you say nail?
Nail.
No, nail.
Nail. Oh, dear.
Nah, Kimmy's is worse.
Kimmy's is worse.
Nail. It's a nail.
Nail.
There we go.
Mark?
Everyone's turned the radios off now.
Nailed it.
Well, because no one listens to a podcast on the radio. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Mark's
had enough already. He's like, why do I do this every week?
Should we do a separate podcast, you and me? Yeah.
No, what?
We've got a Tuesday club. And we'll talk about
him and Neil did. Right. Anyway, Mark, what is a hot topic this week, my bro?
It's kind of technical, but it's kind of not as well, and it's to do with something that we all do. It's speaking about electrical things on YouTube or on podcasts, and it's because I've put a few bits and pieces out to help apprentices in the last couple of weeks, and someone else had said, well, more than one person actually had said how it was kind of not the right thing to do, because apprentices should be dealing with their colleges and the lecturers and using the net website. So I just wondered what you all thought about the kind of content that we're putting out onto social media.
First of all, who said that?
It was more than one person. I don't want. They're not here to defend themselves either, so I'm not going to
Was it
mention
Twitter?
exactly who it was. It was a few places. Some of them on direct message as well, and I think some of it was coming from a good place because I did understand the point of view.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I see both. I can see both.
So it made me think, because I mean we're in exceptional circumstances now, and apprentices in particular haven't been at college, haven't been with their employers, and I thought if I put a bit of content together. Because some had asked, this is just audio podcasts. They just asked for some audio they could listen to while they were at work. And it's only like running through guidance note 3 and a few silly bits and pieces like that. But they were saying they really need to get that teaching from a qualified teacher and to use the net website, checklist, pre-assessment manual, all the stuff they're told. So I just wondered, was regards like Nick and Kimmy and yourself, Sam, putting stuff on YouTube or on a podcast. With my own videos, I'm quite careful to just hyperlapse or time lapse some of the stuff that I think are DIY. I might try and copy
one the other day.
Yeah, so not breaking it down to a point where somebody who had no idea could copy it, but also an electrician or an apprentice could watch it and understand what was going on.
So
I
have an opinion on this, and I think whoever said that is talking nonsense, and here's why. You're not a primary source of education. So if you think of it as a two-tiered source, if you like, so your number one, well, let's say 3 tiers. Your number 1 tier is your college and your company. If you're an apprentice, that's your number 1 learning source. Then you've got like tier 2, which is your approved learning sources, like the websites that are out there and the approved learning websites and stuff like that. They're your tier 2. And then someone like yourself who spends his time to produce just like almost like a cursory overview of some of the stuff that they're going to be looking into, that's not to be sniffed at or debated, really. It's like, let's use our common sense here for a second. What you can't teach an apprentice remotely because you're not qualified, but you also got 25 years of being in the trade. You're a highly qualified, highly competent individual that has a skill set at talking on podcasts. What, you can't translate that into some good content that will help people learn? Who are these people?
Yeah, I see it from 2 points of view. One, yes, they should be taught exactly the regs from the book to people. But on top of it, from my personal experience, lecturers nowadays are taught you to pass an exam. That is pretty much it. They taught you to pass an exam for you to then go in the open world and go, there you go, fend for yourself, go and take some more qualifications, get some experience and whatnot, which I get, because that's what they're trained to do. But with us, Mark more than me, but the experience we're putting across, for me, 11 years in the trade, you way more than me, competent, we know what we're on about. I show more how to do things, as in putting sockets on, the theory behind just running cables, but I don't go anything technical. I don't like going into technical stuff. That's more your area, which for the apprentices watching now, so people say it's a bad thing. If anything, it's such a good thing because it wasn't around 10 years ago. The lads can literally jump online, watch you and me change a fuse board or pull floors up or run cables or clip stuff or chase stuff. The amount of different things now people can see that they can't get taught in a classroom. How are they meant to know how to do all this stuff when they don't get shown it in a classroom? So I think I get the point of it needs to be taught a specific way, but equally they're just being taught to pass an exam.
Also, what I'll add to this as well, we know of plenty of teachers teaching electrical courses that are not electricians and don't have the qualifications to call themselves an electrician. So, with that being the case, it's not about, there is a curriculum that you have to stick to if you're a teacher. If you're just putting out good, healthy advice and knowledge, downloading your knowledge, don't take this. Maybe preface it with, "Listen, this is just my knowledge. You can take from it what you will, or you can take nothing from it. It's not a problem. I'm just putting it out there." I think people need to relax
Yeah, but I can
Yeah, I
see
think
that
either way, right, the students are going to come back to their teacher and they will point out anything that they don't like or they don't want them to be using. So again, like you said, common sense. I think a lot of them can just use common sense and in a way where yeah, you just pick and choose what it is. So sometimes if you've got a specific question, you watch a YouTube video, you take away what it is that you needed an answer about. And if you come back to your teacher and they say that is not the way we want you to do it, I'm assuming it'll be just up to the student to be like, okay, fine, we'll leave it. But it's not.
It's common sense, making good judgment. Listen, they're not listening to like, all right, Mark is a very capable, competent electrician. However, they know, like, it's almost like protecting dumb people. Like, oh, but I listened to Mark Ellison's podcast the other day, and it said this, and this is how I must do it. Well, you're dumb. You can't be an electrician. I'm not trying to protect that person, that dumb person. I'm trying to say, like, this is an addendum to, or an addition to the actual
your learning. Yeah,
like a different interpretation.
Dumb. I can't even get my head round that argument. It's preposterous.
No, all this stuff out here is said to be useful, but I can say that, let's say an apprentice stumbles on a video of someone on YouTube that's not doing stuff correctly or really badly, and then they start picking up notes and, oh, they're on YouTube, you know. I'm not saying people with loads of subscribers. Dumb. I mean, yes, but let's say that's the first video they come across on someone that's doing something correctly, and then they copy that.
Then they're dumb.
Then, yeah. Well, no, again, because they know no difference.
Student, I think you should have enough common sense to sort of see, like, oh, wait a minute, that's not how we saw it in college. And then straight away, you should be making a mental note to go back to your teacher and double check. That's what I think a mature student
I agree.
Has a capable enough understanding to.
Listen, first of all, if you're watching YouTube videos to become an electrician, stop. Go to college.
It's there for
an electrician. If you're watching YouTube videos to get tips and insights, do that. That's smart. But don't be watching Nick Bundy doing these spotlights to become an electrician.
It will not help you pass. Yeah, it will not help you pass college. It will help you in the real world. That's it.
Like you say, you don't go through all the details. You do you show bits and pieces, and then all of a sudden it's done. Like your videos are like 15 minutes long.
We don't show the whole thing.
You don't show the whole thing. So that whole argument is nonsense. Mark, carry on doing what you're doing. You're an incredible asset to the industry.
And you, Nick.
And I don't even care. I don't care if it comes from a good place. These people going, oh, yes, I really admire what you're doing, but perhaps you should think about this. Nah, bitch, shut up.
Fair enough.
Got to agree to a point. Yeah.
But, you know, it's like we were saying, people are learning from YouTube at the minute for the last year or so. It is different times. They're not at college. They haven't been, well, they are now, but they wasn't. And they haven't been with their employers. So there's been a lot of people picking up material off YouTube. And that'll be from the likes of Nick and Gary Hayes, the eFix stuff, Joe Robinson, watching people on Instagram as well, going out day to day like you, Kimmy, and checking out some of the stuff I say on occasion. They might listen to Sam. Maybe not the poo stuff, but everything else he comes up with, you know, sometimes
they could come across these sort of people in real life where they will teach them the wrong things. I personally had that when I first started out. Some people taught me very dodgy things. They were cowboys.
Is that the same person that showed you how to do trunking?
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I just realised I had a lot of messages about my trunking, and I thought, where are they seeing the trunking? I forgot the Monday podcast was out today. I literally was like, where are they seeing my trunking? How do they know? Somebody said it looks like it was bashed by a horse, and I was like, oh, or whatever they said. It was just terrible. Anyways, because I remember this one guy. He was teaching me. He basically was teaching me when I was an apprentice, and he didn't really tell me what screws were for what basically, and I learned the wrong thing, right? So when I went to college, I used the wrong screws, and then my teacher sort of pointed it out. He said, what is this about? So whether you're learning it from YouTube or another real life electrician who misleads you the wrong way, I don't think it makes a difference. Either way, there will be people out there who might not do it in the correct way, and at least on YouTube, other people can point it out and leave a comment. So the
Oh, they
student
do.
watching it, they'll see it.
They
you know?
do. Yeah.
They do, yeah.
What I have learned is don't fit conduit in someone's bathroom to an extractor fan because people do not like that.
It's a listen. The whole thing is right. I've got a real pessimistic view on social media as of late. Well, not as of late, but over the last couple of like about last year, to be honest. What you have, it's like when you're on social media, it's like you put a thought out there, like, I don't know, oh, I feel good today, blah blah, right? Would you walk into a pub and go, everybody, I feel good today. I'm going to take this opportunity to power on, and word of the day is resilience, and then off you go. And everyone will be like, mate, shut the fuck up. And this is what we do with social media all day. And it's like these people that comment on other people's content and stuff like that. You're like, well, hold on a minute. Where's your content? Like, where's your content?
Oh,
I've had this from day one, mate. I've had it from day one. I completely agree with the comment of
man.
Walking into a pub and go, oh, I've just had a turkey sandwich. No one cares. But that's
Exactly.
I remember when Facebook first became a proper thing, and that was it. People were like, and then Twitter became that thing where you would just update everyone what you do for that. No one cares. But then they say with the comments and the trolls and all that sort of crap.
Yeah, but it's almost like when like there's a Twitter thread or something, for instance, and then someone jumps on there and goes, well, actually, you're wrong, and here's why, right? This is, and I'm guilty of this. I'm not saying this is like I'm guilty of this, and this is something I've become quite conscious of recently. Like if you're in a pub or on the train or something, someone's having a conversation, and then you hear something factually incorrect. You don't go, "Excuse me, you're wrong, and here's why, dickhead." Do you?
No, I know.
There's not a thing. So why is that etiquette allowed on the like? Why don't people go?
Because people are hiding behind the keyboards.
Yeah, I was going to say literally, like you said, Joe, hide behind the keyboard, no content, no post, nothing.
Yeah. I saw the, I don't know if we mentioned it before, I saw someone put a petition up, and this petition going around for everyone to have any social media presence. Yeah, you got to have your ID, your passport checked and whatnot. I would be so up for that. It would be unreal. Because the person that starts calling me this, that, and the other on YouTube, or a guy, what was it last year?
Oh yeah, didn't you have somebody who like made a whole fake account with you and stuff, or whatever?
Fake account, and then someone told me to kill myself, and then another one said he's going to break into my house. Like I was like, whatever. Like you just look at it and go, ignore it.
I'd be so happy to get some serious hate like that.
Yeah, but to find someone, if I can click on his profile, go, oh yeah, I'll just drag that across. Oh, he lives. Oh, cool. He lives in Manchester at this address. Oh, cool. Can't wait to go and say hello to him and see what he actually thinks, because the amount of stick you get is unreal from these pathetic people sat behind the screen. No one that comments on crap on me and trolls me would say it to my face. I guarantee it. Not because I'm a big, strong man, because that's how they perceive themselves. They're just sat there in their mom's basement.
I've only ever had two accounts of I've only ever had two comments that were quite hurtful, and both of them came from people who I knew who they were. One of them was on that positive group that you started and put me in, right? The guy said, Kimmy, you make me sick with how positive you are. And do you know what?
Relax.
For about half an hour.
Listen.
I actually cried for half an hour when he said I make him sick with my positivity. I was like, oh my God.
I know exactly. Right, hold on. So you should really talk to me about this. We'll do this off air. I think
I've already sorted it out with him. It's fine.
But I think it come across very wrong, because I know the person in question, and he definitely didn't mean for it to sound like he was having a dig. It is like almost like a backhanded compliment.
Oh, well, I took it wrong, I guess. But even that, I guess with this, it just goes to show that whatever you say, you don't know how the person might interpret it anyways. So whether he meant it as a good thing, it made me cry for about half an hour, But anyways.
We've had this conversation so many times with my other half and friends, where someone sent a text and it's perceived so differently because it's either in capitals and whatnot. Like if I could text you something, Kimmy, now, or say it to your face, you could take it so many different ways. This is why I say to people, don't text me. His mum just ring me. Not that I'm in an argument. I hate texting in general. You can get emotions across in a conversation over the phone rather than text. Because text, unless you're sending emojis with it with a laughing face, no one knows you're being sarcastic most of the time.
Can I just say one thing?
Go on. You love being on the phone, we know.
Boring story, Nick. Let's move on now. Let's move on to I want to talk about BMS. Who here has done BMS, or who here even knows what BMS is? Got the itchiest back in the world. Pen.
One of the things I have never got involved with.
Sexual thing. BMS. Oh, BSM. No, that's
no, not BSM. BMS. Building Management Systems.
Oh,
Dumb.
no.
Mark, have you never done it?
No, I've never been involved with that at all, mate. I've seen the systems installed and I've seen people commissioning, but never touched it myself. Are they letting you loose on something like that?
Well, you'd be surprised to know I've done a fair bit of BMS and
Wow.
On generators, and but I've done about 2-3 years of it, all in, I suppose. And it's actually really basic stuff. Like, it's not until you're commissioning it and programming it where it becomes like you've got to have a real understanding of how it works. But it's essentially, a number of like DIN switches, if you like. So normally on, normally off, that sort of stuff, and you just click it all to that. It all goes back to a panel. All the cables, like you have a big loom come down into the panel, and you just make it off. And it's a lovely, it's a real nice, real gratifying job. Like, you sit at one of the panels, and it's like dressing in a fuse board, but for like a whole day of just like getting it all nice. And then you have to, we call them fanny stretchers, and it's like a prong thing that goes open like that, and you have like a rubber tube on it, and a prong thing opens up like that, and you put it over the end of the cable, and you pull it out. They're called fanny stretchers. I don't know what you want to tell.
No, they're called. What's the thing called?
See, if there's any apprentices watching that, do not call it a fanny stretcher. You're gonna just sound.
And then you fill the ends, and then you put them away. Oh, you might even have to put some numbers on it and stuff like that. It's a really, really good. It's a really nice little job because it's all like secondary containment. So you just sling in a bit of tray here and a little bit of trunk in there. And I'm surprised you have never done it, Mark.
No, but you've just reminded me of something actually talking about it, because our good friend Eddie does a lot of that, doesn't he? Eddie Clemens.
Oh, does he really?
Pegasus, yeah, he builds his own panels up.
Oh, wow.
So I've spoken to him about it before. That's his primary source of business, I think. But yeah, never done it myself. But just speaking about Eddie, I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram. He started up that thing in the Midlands where he's sharing out a conduit bender and a load of tube and conduit accessories to send off to a local apprentice for them to have for a week, just practice with, totally free of charge.
Flexi conduit.
I've seen that. I love
metal conduit.
I love it.
Oh, not flexi.
Not flexi.
No, not Copex King stuff. Yeah, so at the moment, I'm going to be doing a lot of that. And I really enjoy it. So I'm really happy to be doing a bit of BMS. It's just nice work. It's nice. And everything has to be done neatly. You can't just sling BMS in. Otherwise, like, because a lot of it's on the surface, it's all at eye level because all the instruments go on the boxes and stuff. And then all the cables will have to be dressed in nicely. It's just nice to do something different sometimes at work. Like, power and lighting can get very boring.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
So can EICRs.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. And then you just get to do something a little bit different. It's slightly different work. All right, it's containment and cables, but it's just done a slightly different. And I like it. I'm quite happy with it, actually.
Good.
Good
Right,
for
boy,
you.
story, next.
You could.
Yeah, you've got to be happy in your work, haven't you? I mean, that's the primary aim of going to work. And I've been feeling a bit of that this week, because you're saying about normal electrical stuff. It gets a bit boring because you're on autopilot, just doing it, aren't you?
Yes.
So to be out in the garden knocking stuff up with wood when I don't really know what I'm
mate,
doing.
that looked great. That did really, really good.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. What was it?
Little climbing frame slide thing.
Oh, is that what it was? I sort of had a cursory look. I wasn't.
You haven't looked at all. Don't even lie.
No, he hasn't.
So you-
It's like a thing like that. And then I was like,
He was
what
conduit
is that
for the
a frame
monkey
for what?
bars, and then it was a treehouse thing. I was watching.
But it's
Mark,
not.
don't worry.
Cheers, Nick. It's nice to do different stuff, isn't it? And getting into BMS or BDSM, whatever Sam's getting up to at work.
Yeah, I know,
It's all good.
Come home with a sore bottom.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Just us another sponsor.
I'm going completely off subject. You know, did you see the video I did the other week about getting tired of being self-employed? You see that one?
I saw the thumbnail for it today. You're sitting there all like this.
It was just a screen
I
grab
like that.
from the
Have you
video.
seen the video? Yeah, I saw the thumbnail. Then click
Yeah,
it.
cheers, Sam.
It's all like that.
Well, I just want to put it out there, like, to a lot of guys. I've had a lot of messages over Instagram and YouTube regarding it, because obviously I've always spoken to Sam before. The situation a couple of years ago with my dad and my mate, you know, passing away and whatnot. I hated work, and it was the time. It was just crap. But there's so many people that reached out and said, like, I'm struggling at the moment. My dad's passed away, or this has that happened, and blah blah blah. And just saying to people on here, like, if it is you are struggling and whatnot, what I found was great was with Instagram as well. It's like, set little goals for yourself. So one week, if I'm doing a board change, then the next week I'd try something a bit different on the board change. Maybe time myself, maybe do something slightly different, and then change things up on each individually. And it was like little goals, little wins every week, right, with really good pick-me-ups. So I thought it was a good little thing.
I think that's it. And for once, Nick, I'm not going to mug you off about your
mate.
boring story. I actually think that's a real good bit of advice, because one of the things, like, I don't talk about it a lot, but that's a lie. I suffer quite badly with all kinds of problems. Anyway, one of the best ways of dealing with my problems is I like to write a list to accomplish each day. It might just be dumb things. Like, honestly,
That's
sometimes it's even like,
Brush your hair.
yeah,
The third poo of the
like,
day.
honestly,
Done. There you are, Sam.
Yeah.
like,
I've been there, done that as
Shower.
well. Yeah.
shower.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing.
Mm.
Like,
Cross it off.
I've gone a week without showering before when I'm really depressed.
But isn't it good when you've done a job but you've not written it on the list? You have to write it on the list and then cross it off. It doesn't count.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Another win.
Yeah.
But it's just stupid stuff, and I find a lot of value in like those little accomplishments. To be honest with you, I might write a list for tomorrow.
Well, this is one of the key things that I found out recently about doing the ICRs every day. Is I've come home, my brain's still going with all the numbers and doing all the stuff on my iPad and whatnot, but I'm getting no sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. There's no looking at a job and going, right, happy, let's pack up, because I'm literally walking with a tester in Adam and the ladders and doing it, then going to the next one, and coming home and doing the paper. Like, it getting to a tedious routine that I've never been in for a very long time, of doing the same thing day in, day out. I'm hating it at the moment. So while I'm trying to do stuff at home, I'm going to get playing stuff with the kids. Like, Sam's rang me every night, what are you doing? I'm playing doctors with my daughter in her bedroom. Like, allowing myself to try and do something different that I wouldn't try and do normally, just to try and get that accomplishment for the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. I find that with working generally, I'm so bad at working. Like, I'm so bad at being a consistent worker that I have to mix it up a lot. Otherwise, I just turn into a pumpkin. Well,
yeah,
I'm basically a pumpkin anyway.
I
But
can relate.
well, you don't do no work anyway. You just decide to go.
I
Like,
know, literally. Do you know this week I only worked, I think, Sunday and Saturday. I don't think I did anything Monday to Friday. What did I even do Monday to Friday? Did I work? I don't think so. I don't even know. What did I do today? Nothing. I went to Tesco. I'm working tomorrow on site,
what site?
like a building site, but it's not like a big building site. It's just like a house. That's going to be fun. It's a project I started like last year sometime, but because of COVID and stuff, they've taken a step back, and it's in a house that was built literally like in the 1940s. It's ancient. It's like protected by heritage stuff. So everything's just like ancient in there. You can't really do full rewires. You've got to get approval before you do it. It's crazy. So I'm going there tomorrow because we can't change the board, because we can't amend where everything is without permission. So we're going to see if we can get some RCBOs for the bathroom circuit. Anyways, sorry, that was totally off topic. But,
No, but
yeah.
that's what it's about. It's Monday Club. You're meant to
fair.
talk
Yeah,
about
so,
stuff like that.
what's basically the brand of the fuse box? I think it's Hager, and they don't do the RCBOs.
RCBOs. They
Thanks.
do.
Yeah, so we've got to find a way to see what we can do, how to go about it. So I'm thinking like an alternative little fuse box coming off with an RCD just to protect the bathroom for the new stuff going in there.
Do you know what? If I was in your position, what I would do?
Take a day off.
Mark.
Ask Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a good story if we're just going random stuff. I did a hot tub install last week with Adam, and this week because it's Monday Club. And what's the resistance that you're allowed up to on a TT spike for a hot tub, Sam? Do you know?
0.41.
No, it's actually 200 ohms.
I just said something.
But it was a PME supply, and we've been there in the past, and I'd say in the past I've happily ruined them. When I spoke to Napier to do a video on it, ran it into a PME. But obviously, if we have our pen conductor fault where we lose our neutral, we lose our earth, all that sort of stuff we said before, I said from now on, Adam would give them a choice to do a MAT-E, which have you heard one of them, Sam?
No.
So MAT-E is a device that goes in before the hot tub, and it registers a pen fault.
Is that what's commonly referred to as a unicorn device?
I don't know. It registers if there's an imbalance, and it cuts the power off straight away.
Unicorn device.
Right. Okay. But it was two
That
prices.
sounds so made up. Honestly, you and all your terms, fanny stretches, unicorns, it's ridiculous.
That one is actually a real thing. They did call it a unicorn device in the first amendment of the regs when they started mentioning this stuff.
Really?
And then Matty came out with a product that was the unicorn device, and now people like My Energy put them in their Zappy chargers and stuff like that.
Didn't My Energy invent one?
Yeah, My Energy took
it
to the next level. That's I think slightly better than what the Matty is.
So also with hot tubs, I happen to know a little bit about this because Neil's always blabbering on about hot tubs and why you don't need to do all that. Because there is no extraneous parts on them.
Yeah, it's all class 2 fittings. I can't quite wrap my head around it. But equally, if you're in a tub of water that's fed by electricity and it's outside, I would rather be safer than sorry. If there is loss of earth, you would rather.
But hold on, if there's loss of earth and it's all class 2,
yeah, but let's
and the
say
water becomes electrified.
Yeah,
you're still fucked because it's still isolated from.
Because the water wouldn't become electrified if you had a spike on, because your path to earth would be there. It wouldn't go through the water.
Where will it be though? Where won't
it would trip.
In the water.
It would trip because it would trip the protective device before it became electrified.
But what I'm saying is, so there's no possibility of that water becoming electrified by the circuitry. The only way that water can become electrified would be, I don't know,
a big cracking
putting some electricity into it.
Yeah, but let's say it's a crack in the hot.
Anyway.
Yeah, you know where I'm coming from, Mark. Let's say you're in it and there's a crack in it, and then
there's no crack.
It goes on.
There'd be no water.
Yes, but let's say you need to put every precaution in for the worst event possible.
If there's a crack in a hot tub, there's no water. What are you talking about?
While you're in it, let's say it splits while you're in it.
Why would it do that?
The argument with it is that it has a heating element in it, and generally speaking, they have an earth case. And if that was to split, then you can have the element exposed to the water and essentially electrify it if there's no earth for that current to pass through at the element. Some of the hot tubs are actually class 2. I've heard people say they don't exist, but I've seen them with my own eyes. A class 2 hot tub that's marked up with a square and a square. Yeah, so they definitely do exist. But if you've got a class 1 hot tub on a PME supply, you still don't necessarily have to drive an earth rod in. All the regs really stage. You need to have RCD protection, and you can. This is where the grey area is. So some people apply Section 702, which is for swimming pools. But if you go into that extent, you need to start looking at extraneously connecting any outside lights, outside sockets,
taps to
the same point of earth. And it's how far are you going to go to achieve that? If you're only going to go part of the way.
Yeah, it's just like fitting an EV charger. So it's the same principle as an EV charger on a different earthing supply.
They say that, but it's not. I just wanted to say that, to be honest. But
Right.
Mark, I just want to jump in here because I have questions I
Well,
need
you didn't
to
raise your
I need
hand.
answers. No, I don't need to.
Yeah.
I'm the justice. I am the Lord.
Yeah.
Mark, tell me more about this heater that can split. Is that a thing, or is that used to be a thing?
No, it is still a thing. So if you've got a class 1 hot tub, it'll generally have an element in it, like you'd get in a hot water
Immersion.
tank, for example, like an immersion element, and the outer casing of that is earthed. So if it was to crack and split, but there is no earth to the hot tub because the PME earthing's gone down, then that element inside of the earthed case can come into contact with the water. And because the water contains chemicals like chlorine, bromine, whatever they put in there, I don't know, it conducts electricity a bit better than just normal, regular water. That can then pass into a person as they step out of the hot tub into the ground. If you've got an RCD in the circuit, then if that does happen, it should operate. And the other argument
That was
is
my
how.
next question.
Yeah, the other argument is how much of a conductor actually is that water, even with the elements in.
Because water's terrible to conduct.
It is. It's all the minerals in it that actually conduct the electricity. I mean, in a hot tub, you'd have to do some experiments to actually see what did.
Should I get one for the unit?
Yeah, get one for the unit. I think you need one, to be honest, Nick.
I can't imagine that. Well, maybe you can. You know, there used to be that thing where, I don't know. Back in the day, I watched a film, and I think it's like a James Bond film, even. And the person was in the bath, and then they threw a electric heater in the bath, and they died. But the reality is that that's not a thing.
Yeah, the power would trip most of the time if it had a correct protective device.
Yeah, you would have to. You'd have to do something at the other end to make it not trip. For that to happen.
Remove.
Have you never? Do you know what? Have you never had like a light fitting that's wet, but the power's still on, and you've got a blob of tissue to dry it, and then the whole tissue just went conductive, and you just went. Zzz. So is that the tissue then that's more conductive than the water?
Okay.
I'm not saying I ever have. I'm saying on behalf of a friend.
Well, listen, shouldn't you be doing safe isolation before you touch a faulty light fitting? There's going to be a lot of this going on.
They definitely should have isolated before, but I'm saying if they didn't, and then dabbed it with.
Can I get back to my hot tub story?
Wait, I really regret that. Can you edit that out? I don't want my friend to get in trouble.
No. Go on, Nick. Finish your boring story.
Anyway, so we ended up putting a spike in it, and it really, really nice job actually. But I was testing it, so I was quizzing Adam as we try and do with the regs as and when we're testing and this and that to the maximum ZS values, blah blah blah, and we got a ZS of 22 ohms off 1 meter spike.
Right.
And Adam was, and I was like, I wasn't sure. I made him test it again. I was like, we tested it, and then obviously showing him how on the test results, if you've got, obviously it's an installation certificate for the new circuit, is where you try and fill in where you've obviously fed it up to the isolation point. Well, it was actually a whisker box below the rotary isolator with a
I'll tell you what, test that again in August.
Well, the thing is that it's on a farm, and anyway, whatever. I know it's going to be good. And but trying to put the results in of where to put a PME earth to an R1, R2 on that one, and then splitting it to the R1, R2 for our TT, and then the ZS for our TT as well. And it's annoying because the sheet won't allow you. You have to just put it all in the extra comments and sections. You just got to pick and choose which one you're going to put in your scheduled test results, and then write everything separately. And we were just having a discussion in the van on the way back, like why hasn't someone created a pretty much a hot tub install certificate where we can show the two results side by side for the same cable, which would be pretty handy.
Yeah, that is a good point. A few other people have said with a software that you use especially, it's really hard to record different earthing systems when they are applicable to the same circuit. So you'd think someone would have done something like that, to be honest.
I'll have a word with EasyCert, see what they can come up with.
Oh yeah, well, got to pick up the bat phone. Easy, I'm Nick Bundy.
No, I'm not rising to it. It's fine.
Easy, sir. I'm Nick Bundy, and I'm telling you this is what I need. We're done.
Are you finished?
No. Oh dear.
Brilliant. Right, it's been late enough. This will do.
Right. Well, listen, it's been fun. As usual. I love you all. Monday Club, we're out.
Arsehole.